Internet. So today I worked from home, so I didn't have very much footage. Therefore, I decided that instead of doing a normal vlog where I might have to scramble to find footage, I never want to do that just to put footage up. I've decided that I wanted to do a video, something a little different, of 16 things that I learned in 2016. As we have talked about numerous times this year has been a trying year and it's been a learning year for me. But I wanted to look back on this year and try to not be as negative and bring some positive light into 2016, even though it has been a really shitty year for a lot of people, not just me. So I spent some time writing in my journal, as I always do, and I went through and I probably did maybe, let's see, 4 drafts of what exactly I learned. And I didn't want to prioritize because I wanted it to kind of just be a video of things that I learned, and it's not necessarily in a priority state, but just in general. So the first thing that I learned in 2016, I hope that this is okay with you guys too. I really wanted to, I wanted to do this. I see a lot of YouTubers do this kind of stuff, and I think that, I think it's really interesting because I like to look back on my videos and remember where I was in that moment. And I think that it's really almost freeing and a time of reflection. And I keep saying that I'm ready for 2016 to be over and 2017 to start, but I truly think that you have to make peace with what you have in order to be able to move on. So I talked to my best friend and she was like, you know what? Write it all out, because that's what we do, we write. And she goes, write it all out, write out the positives, write out the negatives, and be done with it from there. So here I am, gonna be done with it. I just want to move on. 2017, I am ready for you, and let's do this. So the first thing that I learned in 2016 is, I will start with the most obvious. Losing a pet is the worst gut-wrenching feeling in the entire universe. I've lost pets before, but losing Tyson was the worst feeling in the entire universe because there wasn't anything that I can do. I'm a fix-it kind of girl. I want to fix things. I want to make things better. I want to put smiles on people's faces. And there was nothing that I could do towards the end of Tyson's life to save him. And that was the world's worst feeling in the whole wide world. Losing him was the worst thing that happened to me in 2016, as you guys know. But with that, I now have Finley. Finley has brought me so much joy these last few months. I'm truly, truly grateful for new starts. Finley is my new start. He's mine. He is all mine, and I'm raising him, and we are good. So, although I lost my best friend this year, I gained a new one. And I know Tybug is looking down on us every single day. And he is teaching the Fin Man all of his traits and all of his quirks and all of those things that we all loved about him. So I wanted to get that out of the way before I cried. All right, so number 2 is probably the second most obvious thing. The second thing that I learned in 2016 is breakups are a lot worse when you're older. As you all know, my Phil and I broke up at the beginning of this year. Well, mid-year, I guess. I don't even know anymore. What did I learn about that breakup? I haven't talked much about it. I have been very vague about our breakup. But one thing that I will say that I learned about 2016 and going through a breakup when you're older is it sucks. It sucks. And I was in a really bad place after it happened. However, I am happier than I have been in years. And one thing that I will say that I've learned in 2016 is that my happiness is so important. And if I'm not happy, and if I'm sad more than I'm happy, it's probably time to move on from a situation. So in 2016, I went through a breakup and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I can handle, and that's a lot. And I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my friends who never gave up on me and were just my biggest cheerleader and just there for me. So in 2016, heartbreak sucks when you're older, but being able to see the light and being able to overcome what you went through makes you 100 times stronger than you ever thought you would be. Number 3 was another significant thing in my life is I turned 30. I am 30 years old. I am in a whole new decade and I love it. I feel more at peace with myself than I have ever. I feel more confident in the kind of human being that I am. I own my own home. I have a career. It's not just a job. I have a career. I have a puppy. I have a car. I have family. I have friends. I have a life that is so worth living. And I'm grateful. I feel confident in the kind of person that I am and the kind of person that I am going to become. Being 30 has opened my eyes to just new possibilities. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I just feel like, hey guys, I'm 30. You know, I'm proud to say that I'm 30. I thought that when I turned 30, I was gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm 30, life is over. No, I am so happy. When I go out and people ask me how old I am, I say loud and proud I'm 30. And I'm so happy about that. So that's another thing that happened to me in 2016. Another thing that I learned in 2016 is having a few girlfriends is so much more important than having a ton of girlfriends. And that's not to say that I don't have a ton of girlfriends. However, there are a few of my girlfriends that would give me the shirt off of their back and they would be here at any moment of any day and be there to laugh with me, to cry with me, to motivate me, and just be a good human being. And for that, in 2016, I'm so thankful. All right, so another thing that I learned in 2016 is kind of a funny one. My newfound love for margaritas. Holy hell, I love me a good margarita. And I knew that I've always liked margaritas, but this year I've had my fair share of margaritas and I'm real happy about it because I have just grown in love with them. So there, it makes me sound like I drink a lot and I don't, but I love a margarita. I love a good margarita and a good glass of wine, but a good margarita. Another thing that I have learned in 2016 is going to the beach with my journal and writing. I have always talked about how I've journaled in the past and it's always been a big part of my life, but 2016 I really got back to journaling and I got back to doing things for myself in regards to journaling. So there's at least a few times a month I will just take my journal and I will go out to St. Pete Beach and I'll write. So that's another thing that I learned in 2016 is that I forgot how much I love journaling and I'm glad that I got back to that. Another, I think I'm on number 7. So number 7, I think, is my yoga has changed my life. I have found Annette, who I went to her classes previously before, but I really started going in 2016. And mentally and physically, she has rocked my world. And it's because she gets me. She gets me on a different level. And when I go to her classes, I can truly just get into this Zen mode where I breathe, I meditate, and I feel at peace. And when I leave there, I feel full. I don't know how else to describe it. When I leave her yoga classes, I just feel full. I do. I don't know how else to describe that. It's incredible. When you find something that you love, I've always liked yoga, but once I found Annette, it changed my life, really, truly. But one of the other things that I have learned in 2016 is how much I truly love and value my family. I obviously, I'm a big family person, but I feel as though in 2016, I really got back to my roots and I get to see my family more than I've ever seen them, and it makes my heart so happy. happy, and I get to see my family members smiling, and we get to make memories that when you're older, you appreciate so much more. And I'm happy that I'm getting back to that. And it's not that I never was close to my family, it's just now I realize the importance of how much of an impact they make in my life and a daily life. And without them, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be where I am. I'm lucky to have the family that I have. Another thing that I have learned, which has been kind of a tough lesson for me, is to be more careful with who I allow into my heart. I am the kind of person that I trust you until you give me a reason to not trust you. And 2016 has taught me to not necessarily be the opposite, but to be more careful and selective of who I allow into my heart. I have allowed people into my life and really into my heart, and they break it. And it's a tough thing to learn, and it never gets easy. So I've learned now to be more selective, and so moving forward, I may have a little bit of a wall, and I know that it's not a good feeling, it's not a good situation, and whoever I'm with in the future, hopefully I will never take out what has happened in the past on them. But it's gonna take a little bit for me to open my heart up again. And I know that, and 2016 has taught me that, because I have allowed people into my life and into my heart that probably didn't deserve it. Something else I've learned is you are allowed to eliminate toxic people from your life without explanation. Like I said before, I have a few close girlfriends, and that's because although I still have a lot of friends, I've eliminated some of those people where I'm like, oh, I wouldn't choose to necessarily hang out with you all the time, but I like you, you're fun. But then there's other people where I'm like, I really don't like you, but I keep you around because I don't want to be mean. And I have learned that you don't have to do that. You don't have to keep somebody around if they don't bring happiness or some kind of positivity into your life. If you want positivity in your life and somebody's bringing you negativity, get them out of there. So that's another thing I've learned. Another thing that I have learned this year in 2016 is how much dogs make the world a better place. After losing Tyson, as you guys know, my world was turned upside down, and then I got Finley, and he has brought a smile back to my face. He has brought happiness and this laugh that I catch myself and I'm like, what was that? He cracks me up. He genuinely just makes me laugh, and dogs are the best. I have Zoe, I have Marley, I have Kobe, I have Diesel. Like, I have dogs in my life that I'm just, and pets too. I love pets, but dogs. So 2016 dogs, you're the dog, I love you. Another thing that I have learned in 2016 is to find yourself. Find things that truly make you tick again. And this is a learning process. This is something that I think is going to be a continual thing. I think it's going to be ever changing. But in 2016, I really had the time to actually get to know Melissa again and get to know the things that I love and the things that I want to do and the things that I like, the food that I like, the activities that I like, the music that I like. And I really got back to me. And something else that I learned is that it's okay to be alone. Being comfortable being alone is really satisfying. Something else that I've learned in 2016 is cooking is fun. Cooking is a lot of fun. I'm still not up to the caliber of, hey, I'm just gonna whip it up. I'm not that. But I like having a recipe. I like cooking. It makes me happy. I don't like when somebody is watching me cook, but I like cooking. I really enjoy cooking for someone. And I really enjoy cooking for people. So that is something that I learned in 2016. I've been so adamant on just like, here and there cooking, but I really like it. So in 2017, I'm going to cook more, and I'm excited about that. I wrote down, being happy isn't about how much you have, but truly in the experiences and the memories that you make. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Experience experiences and those memories are what you're really going to remember. I mean, I took a trip to New York City and I didn't buy the most fancy things, but I got to spend it with a longtime friend and just make memories. And I still think back on New York City, which I now love. It's a city that I now love. And I think back so fondly because of the laughs and the pictures and the things that we did. Not necessarily anything extravagant. It was just sitting in the middle of this park in New York City and just laughing with Katie. And that's one thing that I want to bring into 2017 is to have more experiences and more memories with people that I love. And by myself, I want to be able to do that more. I want to remind myself and for the future that in 2016 I learned that people do not change. My best friend Sam always says, people don't change, they just behave. And that has stuck with me. 2016, you have taught me that once a person is who they are who they are. Do not try to change them. You have to accept them for who they are. So that is something that I learned in 2016 is that people do not change unless you want to. And if you want to and you take necessary actions, you can change. But I don't think people do. And finally, the internet really isn't that bad of a place. You all have helped me so much and gotten me through some really, really tough times this year. And I know that the internet can be a really shitty place. I know it can. And I see some negative comments and that's fine. But overall, I'm grateful for the internet. I am grateful for YouTube. I'm grateful for all of you that watch my videos and support me and comment and like and share and hug me when you see me and tweet me and Instagram. I'm so grateful for you all. And I think in 2016, it hit me how much of an impact the internet has made into my life. And for that, I am really thankful because I never thought that I would be that person that relied on people that I didn't know. And now I do. So I'm appreciative of it. So that's it. 2016, you've been a real learning experience for me. This video is probably going to be a lot longer than I expected, but I wanted to get it out there. I wanted to do 2016 in remembrance. There's been a lot of really crappy things that have happened and a lot of deaths. Death sucks. 2016, you've been the year of the death, and I hate it. But I think that if we still continue to think positively for 2017, we're gonna have positive results. I'm going into this new year with really a positive outlook, and I'm excited for a new year. And even though it's a new year, new cleanse, new everything, you're still the person that you always are, and love yourself. Love who you are. You are ever changing, ever growing, and enjoy that. Take every experience that you've had in the past, grow from it and learn from it. And that's what I'm taking with me to 2017. So let's do this together, Positive Thinkers United. I am truly, truly, truly grateful for all of you. And let's make 2017 the best year yet. We're gonna make lots of memories, I can feel it. I love y'all.